Well, welcome to the Doolittle Community Center. Matt Fowler alongside Todd Bernacki for the fourth game of the Global Basketball Summer League today. Todd, what do you think?
Well, it's been a long and very entertaining day of basketball, and these two teams are vying to move on to the championship game here tomorrow. So looking forward to an outstanding matchup. Both teams looked awfully impressive yesterday, and game number 4, Point Streak versus Finnish Select. Hey, this is a real toss-up, man. I would say for sure both teams really look strong in game number 1 on Friday.
The person to watch out for Finnish Select is Ricardo Ortiz. He put on a clinic yesterday against Windsor Express.
Yeah, good-looking player, strong, physical, likes to take it to the rack, and yeah, he'll be a force, there's no doubt. He was impressive yesterday afternoon.
Well, with a berth in the championship game tomorrow on the line, these teams both have a lot to play for. We're just getting ready to have the tip-off here from the Doolittle Community Center. We will have it for you momentarily, and thanks for joining us. Getting ready for the tip-off here from Las Vegas, Nevada. It is hot outside.
There's no doubt about it. And we'd love to stay inside here. One more game, 2 hours or so, and let's see if we can finish off day number 2 strong with these two very strong teams.
Finnish Select starts off, and right off the bat, a turnover. Goes over to Point Streak.
Finnish Select led by Mika Larkis, their head coach, and on the other side, Lewis Lofton is guiding the Point Streak team throughout Session A of this tournament.
There will be a filling out period, but if Finnish Select plays anything like what they did yesterday, they will be very tough to beat.
Yeah, they dismantled Windsor Express by nearly 30 on this court late in the afternoon.
They did. And out of bounds, and it will stay with Point Streak, or Finnish Select, excuse me, and that three-pointer won't go. And back down the court, three-pointer, no good, so immediately we have kind of a feeling out period.
Yeah, both teams just trying to find some rhythm early. They've had some good open looks, but sloppy here in the first minute of play.
So Finnish Select looking to get on the board. That shot's an air ball from Jordan Hare out of the University of Rhode Island.
Point Streak played really good defense. That was the key to their victory over the Canada Stars by 3 points on Friday, Matt. And I'm sure that'll be the MO for Coach Lofton this afternoon as well.
Jordan Hare with good defense there on Justin Graham, or excuse me, on Brian Alexander Ridgeforth from Washington Adventist University. Offensive foul.
Illegal screen up top. And that's a turnover. It goes back to the Finnish Select team. We've played 90 seconds, and neither team has dented the scoreboard as of yet.
That could be a good sign. Because that could be a very
low-scoring game.
Low-scoring defensive close.
Yeah.
You know? As fast break opportunity for Point Streak. Keith Shivers will slow it down. Now he'll drive in. Goes right at the 7-footer, and that is not a good idea. Although Point Streak able to get back on defense.
Joe Jackson also on the steal defensively, 6'6", 180-pounder. Quick hands, too. Got a piece of that dribble drive penetration, and he was able to get it at least in motion for Finnish Select, although they were unable to finish. 2 minutes gone, Matt, still not a point on the board.
Connor Voss is the 7-footer, the aforementioned big man. Played for the Columbia Lions, and that was who Keith Shivers went against, and that's just not something you want to do.
A couple of guys here from Columbia University in downtown New York City playing this week, and a lot of big men They've grown big, maybe at Columbia U.
Well, that shot no good. And again, we're 2 minutes and 11 seconds in, and we don't have a score. I know I'm all for defense, but
Well, we're not seeing really good defense yet, but we're just seeing sloppy execution on both sides. They're not getting some good looks. And it's not into a rhythm. Maybe a late night for both of these teams in the Strip last night at Vegas. And the last game of the day, they've got to come out strong, and they haven't done it yet.
Shivers gets his shot blocked, stays with it, and throws it back out. Jordan Hare with the kickball. Global Basketball Summer League in Las Vegas, day 2. There will be 16 games remaining after today. And a berth in the championship in Session A on the line. Session B will begin on Monday.
Today is Saturday, right? We're going to lose track of time. We don't see much daylight here at the Doolittle Center, although life goes on outside here in Vegas.
It does? I haven't seen any life forms. Three-point shot finally is good for Finnish Select for Timothy Coleman.
That was better ball movement by Finnish Select. They found the open look, and the 6'5" Coleman able to knock it down, nothing but net.
And Coleman deflects it there. Pass was intended for Shivers.
Point streak yesterday put up 82 points. And so far, 3 minutes gone, they don't have a point on the board.
Jordan Hare, good active hands to deny the inbound. Hare again, aggressive defense. And a lot of people wonder, global basketball, what is it, what's the mission? And global basketball is a platform for all international players to come and showcase their skills for the agents and teams across the world. The NBA Finals was aired in 215 countries. So if you ever doubted the international appeal that the NBA has, as these games are sanctioned by the NBA.
Yeah, man, and what's cool, there are 40 players here that participated last year that did sign professional contracts somewhere around the world. So it's spreading quickly that if you come out to Vegas in early July in the Global Basketball Summer League, you have a really good shot of finding a paycheck in professional basketball in the next step of your career.
Paul Darius had 1 out of 2 on the free throws. That's good again by Timothy Coleman. So one-man show.
Back-to-back triples and a couple of left-handed triples that go down for Finnish Select.
Wild layup doesn't go. And a little bit subdued here. We are 3.5 minutes in, and if you would have told Point Streak you'd be 3.5 minutes in and Finnish Select would have 6 points, they'd laugh at you.
Yeah. And Point Streak doesn't have a field goal yet, although they've had some pretty good looks.
You're going to say this is really cheesy. Point Streak needs to get on a point streak.
Yeah.
In the corner, no good. Rebound, though, by Artis. His first minutes of the game, Coleman again. Drives in. Crossover, layup, no good. Follow will not count, but Coleman will go to the line.
Well, Timothy Coleman has shown already in the first 5 minutes he could knock down threes, and that time we see his penetration game. Strong body, 6'5", 210, and that time he attacked the big man of Point Streak down the lane. Didn't get the shot to go with that left hand, but rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Janarius Middleton picks up the foul.
Coleman makes the first substitution in for Team Point Streak.
We have a host of substitution, notably
Chad Hopkins.
Earl Schexnayder checks in for for Devonne Oliver out of Greatfield University for Point Streak. So 1 out of 2, and Finnish Select leads 7-1.
And Timothy Coleman is leading 7-1. He's got all 7 points for the Finnish Select bunch. A couple of triples and a free throw. There we
Finally,
go.
a three-point shot goes down. Sigh of relief from everybody, including the broadcasters, from Devon Oliver. So
Good open
7-4.
look.
Yeah.
Had a good open look and knocked down that jumper.
Coleman again. Drives in, shot, no good.
Trying to be the one-man band for Finnish
At two.
Select.
And a shot is good for Jason Stubbs. 2-point, long two-pointer.
Kept it alive. Shot clock was ticking down. He just came off the bench, Matt, and already pays dividends for Coach Larkus.
Timothy Coleman plays great defense. The shot blocked by Joe Jackson, but he committed a foul in the process.
The Finnish Select Jordan Harris.
And Chris Dees will
Point streak number 10, Chris Dees.
shoot a pair.
He will shoot 2.
Biggest guy on the roster for Coach Lewis Lofton, 6'9", 260-pound forward, and Chris Dees.
In for 2, point streak
He's
number
got an NBA type of body at 6'9", 260.
number 8, Jamal Morris.
And the precision, it's been a long day, folks, with which Finnish Select dismantled Windsor Express yesterday was unlike what we have seen, although there's a bucket and the foul for Brian Alexander Bridgeforth. Called his name a couple of times today. We'll have a timeout. The precision with which Finnish Select did that makes them very tough to beat. And right now we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Sydney Carriel, for an update on this game. Sydney?
Thanks, guys. I spoke with Point Streak's head coach, Lewis Lofton, before the game, and he mentioned that he wants the guys to focus more on defense, and he also wants them to create more offense for themselves by taking more shots. And he also mentioned the stress of making their free throws, especially when the game is close. Guys?
Thanks, Sydney. Well, yeah, these teams have been very, very competitive, and they want to catch a berth in the championship game tomorrow. And so Point Streak going through Finnish Select is going to be a very tall order.
Well, Finnish Select looked strong early, didn't they, Matt? They jumped out. First 3 minutes, they were up. Point Streak didn't have a point on the board. They have all of a sudden found their second win in the first quarter, and they've made this a contest, albeit very low scoring with 5 minutes gone, and only a 9-7 lead right now for Finnish Select.
Well, with the exception of that one basket, the score is tied 7 for Point Streak, 7 for Timothy Coleman.
Yeah. And Brian Bridgeforth couldn't hit that and one free throw out of the timeout, just clanked it off the front of the iron. But, boy, he's a lanky guy with great footwork, and I guarantee you he'll find the next level easily.
What a shot by Timothy Coleman, three-pointer.
That's his third triple of this first quarter. The first two were from the right wing, this time from near the left corner and the left-hander.
We might be seeing a Global Basketball Summer League scoring clinic if it continues. And Coleman with the active hands knocks it off the defender. They will retain possession.
Well, they've just taken out their top scorer, at least for the moment, as Timothy Coleman, who has been lighting up the nets in the first 5 minutes, will get a breather.
Let the Twitterverse commence. They shouldn't have taken Timothy Coleman out of the game.
Earl Schexnader will pop off the bench, and we'll see if he's got the same energy and shot prowess as Timothy Coleman.
Well, we saw him yesterday, and he's able to be very agile around the rim. Knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Finnish Select. Connor Voss, the big man, couldn't quite get inside. Keith Shivers will check back in.
Connor Voss, 7'1", 255 from Columbia University. Remember, he was the guy yesterday that tried to sneak in our van as we were headed back to the hotel, Matt, and there just was not enough room for a 7-footer.
We wanted to let him in. We really did. As Shivers gets the rebound, outlet pass. And now they'll slow it down. Inside, up, and in for Chris Dees.
That's the difference in physicality of the upper body. Chris Dees, remember, 260 pounds going up against the taller 7'1", 255, and Connor Voss muscled his way up for that shot, kissed it off the glass, and drew the foul against Connor Voss.
And that is what you have to do against Finnish Select. You got to convert the easy ones when they give them to you. Although that one wasn't easy, you want more layups like that. And the three-point play is converted by Chris Dees.
That would feed the beast a lot more. Chris Dees, right now a man among boys, on the floor, point streak, and got to find a way to get it down low to him. He can bring you right back in a hurry.
Shot no good, and the rebound taken by Bridgeforth. Jump shot around and out. Second chance doesn't go. And up and in, and the foul for Jamal Morris. And Jamal Morris, we called his name a lot yesterday in the win over Windsor Express. Three-pointers, inside, outside, he can do it all.
That play set in motion on transition off the rebound. Earl Schexnader with the sweet outlet, and the streaking Jamal Morris knows how to finish and knows how to get to the line for the N1.
Broadcaster's jinx, Todd.
No doubt, every time it works. But boy, you just want to finish those three-point plays when you execute as well as they did, and just unfortunate they couldn't.
Chris Dees can't convert, and Artis with the rebound. Out to Morris. Back three-pointer is good for Earl Schexnader.
Nice burst of energy off the bench for this Finnish Select team and Mike Larkus. They bring in Schexnader. He finds assists, and that time a sweet triple just in front of us on the left wing.
Pace picking up a little bit. As Chris Dees tries to get inside, does so. And a dunk for Brian Bridgeforth.
But boy, that was set up on that sweet lob, wasn't it? Chris Dees over the top, got it over the big guys, and a nice collect and a score.
Chris Dees with the rebound.
I like his game. I think he'll work out very well at the professional level. Unselfish, big body, can hit free throws, knock down shots, plays defense.
Shivers can't get the three to go, and Schexnader with the rebound. And Artis tracks down the ball, goes inside, layup, no good, and an offensive foul as the defender Shivers was set.
Ricardo Artis, player control foul, and good call by the officials. He went in rumbling and stumbling underneath, out of control, and the defender stood his ground well and drew the body blow, and will go the other way as we have a timeout now on the floor.
And just one quick note about these referees. These referees are just like the players. They want to get into the NBA. They are judged on their performance by scouts from the NBA, namely George Tolliver, VP of Referees Association in the NBA, and we had a chance to speak to him at the hotel, and what a fantastic group of people here in Las Vegas.
There's no doubt about it, and these guys are very professional. They have been throughout the week. They're sticklers to the rules. Remember, as you said, they're being evaluated as well, so it's important that they execute to the T, to the book as well, because any little trip or any little blip or mistake that they make, Matt, they're going to be scolded. And they've been very professional. They've been a lot of fun to hang out with. And there's no doubt that this is a training ground for a lot of people here in Midsummer, including these NBA caliber officials. And, you know, you talk about the NBA, there's the Summer League that's going on down the street at the Thomas and Mack Center on the campus of UNLV. And
I have to get over there.
a lot of these officials are also doubling up, double duty down in UNLV and working that as well. So we've got the best of the best in the NBA here this week at the Doolittle Center.
Game of the year. Warriors-Cavs, round 4, Summer League action on Monday.
You'll be there.
I will be there to see nobody named LeBron James. No starters will ever play in that game.
That's for sure. There's no doubt. That'll be a lot of fun. Watch some of it already on television.
It actually would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? LeBron just destroys in the Summer League. Back to action here. As point streak down by only 5 to Finnish select. Three-pointer, no good. Artis skies for the rebound. Out to Schexnader. And he will set it up with a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Connor Voss goes in on Dees, goes up, and good defense by Dees there to not give in to the 7-footer.
Again, the physical upper body of Chris Dees forcing the undersized Voss, and as undersized as far as his physicality, backwards on that hook, and it didn't have a chance to go in.
Stubbs with the rebound. He'll push himself, goes right into Shivers, lays it up and in. And that's just inexcusable if you're the coach of Point Streak.
And there's that Jason Stubbs. He came off the bench, and he's given Finnish Select a real good burst of energy. That was a sweet move down the lane and a nice finish.
Acrobatic layup. Good for Nate Morrill.
Acrobatic is a great word, and we've used that adjective a lot throughout the week. These guys know how to fill the hole.
On cue, Schexnader with a layup of his own. 21-14, 35 seconds remaining. Morrill drives in. Back out to Shivers. Shivers trying to make something happen. On Morris. Morris falls down. Shivers lays it up and out. Tip in. No good. And Finnish Select will come back after fighting on that defensive possession.
Yeah, Bridgeforth, just unfortunate. He had multiple opportunities to finish that underneath and just couldn't on the first and second chance, and it comes back to Finnish Select.
Jamal Morris, the 3, can't get it. Artis with the rebound, but I believe they're going to stay over the back.
Sure.
And they are.
Carter Artis went over the back of Nate Morrill, and it was an easy whistle for these NBA caliber officials.
So
late here in the first.
Shivers inbounds. And the layup is no good by Bridgeforth. But I have to say, after what Finnish selected yesterday, Point Streak is hanging right there with them.
Yeah, they really came out sluggishly to start the contest. It made a nice little run. Remember, it pulled it within 2. It was 9-7 and after the first 4 or 5 minutes. And then after that, well, all of a sudden we've got a pretty good basketball game. But as you alluded to, the energy level, Matt, for both of these teams really ramped up after that real awkward start. And we're in for a heck of a basketball game. And remember, as you alluded to, this is a semifinal of sorts. And the winner of this will move on to the title game tomorrow afternoon and play for a trophy here at the Doolittle Center.
And for these players, I mentioned it on previous broadcasts, this is more about showing your individual skills, but the best way to showcase your individual skills is kind of a catch-22, is to win with your team, because more people just like winning. Scouts just inherently, if you say, here's a team they lost by 20, the scouts aren't going to want to look at that team. It doesn't matter who's on it. So
yeah, there'll be some stars that shine on those that don't get to the championship. We've seen them all week. These guys are really high-caliber athletes, but definitely you get a championship on film and send it off that you were an important part of that winning program, and, yeah, that's going to up your stock. And these guys are playing for that here this afternoon. A quarter gone to the books, and right now Finnish Select is up a touchdown here in Las Vegas.
So Point Streak starting with the ball. Right away foul on Morris.
First 3 seconds, a little overzealous, over-aggressive, reaching into the backcourt, and you don't see those called very often at this level, but a little hand check and back to Point Streak.
You don't necessarily have to worry about really team fouls or personal fouls in the Summer League. You get 10 personals and you get 10 team before you shoot. Little harkening back to the college days, as easy layup not converted, and back comes Finnish Select. The shot no good, rebound, and right there is Jordan Hare for the easy lay-in.
They just bring 6'10s and 7'1s into this contest, and there are a lot of bigs here this week. And, you know, there are some guards that are certainly impressing, but boy, to watch the bigs play down low and really expand their games, it's been a joy to watch.
Dees tried to get that shot to go, ends up being a foul on Finnish Select.
The foul is on number 4 of Finnish Select, Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson will pick up the foul, and Point Streak will get it side out of bounds. Chris Dees tries to go inside. Ball saved, however, up and in for Darius Paul, excuse me.
Not a good lob by Dees. Threw it into traffic. It didn't really have enough air under it, and that ball was deflected away. But, yeah, Darius Paul was there to mop it up, and a sweet finish with that up and under kiss off the square.
That's just one of those broken plays that turns into something good.
Definitely, all because of hustle, and Darius Paul rewarded.
Stubbs gets it to go. So anytime Point Streak is able to mount a few scoring drives, so is Finnish Select. And a nice drive, but stolen by Morris. And an easy lay-in for Jason Stubbs again. And
nice looking guard off the bench, huh? Jason Stubbs, 6'1", 190, and a burst of energy. And, boy, he's filled the cup since he's come off the pine.
Chris Dees has kept Point Streak in this game.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. With his defense, and that time with his twirling move in the lane, and the finish with the little fadeaway from 10 feet away. And this guy's got game, Chris Dees, and a big, strong body to boot. It's a nice combination, and he's really exhibiting it well this afternoon so far, Matt, for this Point Streak team.
Fixing the shot clock, and Timothy Coleman will inbound. Morris goes to work. Fancy dribbling, lays it up and in, and the foul. Wow. Jamal Morris. He made Chad Watkins not look very good there.
No, that was just a great finish. You know, you see so much on penetration. It's all about body control. And once you get off your feet, the athleticism takes over, and Jamal Morris able to flex his muscle with that sweet shot. And one with a left-handed free throw, too, to help the cause.
Point Streak finds themselves down by 12.
Got off to a horrible start today, mounted a nice charge, and now they're back down double digits.
Ball somehow makes his way back over. Alley-oop attempted and see what Point Streak is doing, although unable to save it there. What Point Streak is doing is trying to make these laser passes, and the ball is finding Finnish Select defenders instead of Point Streak teammates.
Yeah, they're attempting to get into the post consistently, and you're right. There's little room for error, but they're not making sharp lobs, and Finnish Select is taking care of that with the takeaways.
Do you think part of it is they probably did see the game yesterday, Finnish Select and Windsor Express, as Timothy Coleman puts on a dribble exhibition, goes up, gets the foul, and he'll shoot two. Do you think that Point Streak saw that performance from Finnish Select and maybe it's in their heads a little bit?
Yeah, but plus they have a nice size advantage, and they've got a lot of depth in the front court, and they want to utilize that as much as they can. And it's just not working consistently, but yeah, I think they're going to continue to go to the well because they do have that advantage in the size.
Let me just tell you what the advantage in the size is. 6'2", 6'11", 6'1", 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", 6'5", 7'1", and 6'10", are the heights for Finnish Select. 5'11", 6'10", 6'1", 6 foot, 6'4", 6'8", 6'9", and 6'9" are Point Streak. So considerable. Let those numbers digest a little bit.
This guy is a star, and he showed it early, the left-handed Timothy Coleman. Remember, he scored their first 7 points and really set the tone this afternoon for Finnish Select.
Back when the game was a defensive clinic.
Yeah. Or lack of offense, a little more accurate.
You always want to paint a pretty picture, though. Best defense I've ever seen.
Yeah.
As a nice lay-in by Darius Paul.
Good vision, too. He saw the opening, the dribble drive down the lane, penetrated well, and at 6'9", little scoop, and off the glass on the score.
Jamal Morris, tough shot, no good. Jordan Hare with the rebound, but can't put it back. And out comes Justin Graham. Excuse me, Alexander. Coleman with the jam.
Point streak settling for jumpers on the past couple of possessions. Hasn't worked well. And on the other side, Finnish Select, moving off transition, off those misses. Boom, they were able to finish. And right now putting on a clinic of his own is Timothy Coleman with that left hand. There you go. That time Point Street got back to a little more of their bread and butter and getting those big guys a penetration by Bridgeforth. Took it off the dribble down the lane and rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Bridgeforth using his size to his advantage. So, Doolittle Community Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we will have plenty of basketball for you over the next few days. We'll be here. Myself, along with many of my colleagues, will be announcing various games, and we thank you for joining us. So, Todd, what have you seen? What's been the highlight for you out of this Global Basketball Summer League?
You know, I'm just impressed
Thus far, because
overall,
there's a lot left.
Oh, yeah. Just from what we've seen from these 8 teams, just the overall athleticism of what these teams have come together. You know, remember, these teams were all drafted Thursday morning, and it's tough to put together a cohesive unit. So
they literally were drafted
Yeah.
Thursday morning. We are not exaggerating. We were there.
But just the display of athleticism is just a joy to watch. And this is high caliber basketball. You know, a lot of these guys not going to make the NBA, but there's certainly multiple opportunities around the world to play really high level basketball. And you could see there's a handful of the bodies that will certainly be inking pro contracts awfully soon right after this event. But I didn't expect to see the high level that we have, and I've been impressed just watching courtside the last couple of days, and we still have one more day to go, and then we'll see a fresh new set of teams, 8 new teams starting Monday morning here from the Doolittle.
And then we'll tell you on Tuesday how they were drafted.
Yeah.
And we are in Vegas, so long shots do win every now and then, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these talented players in the NBA at some point as Bridgeforth hits the first free throw.
It's such a physical game at that level, physical. And I know you can get the sharpshooters from beyond the arc, and that's a big part. But I guarantee you what these NBA execs and scouts are looking for here is, are you able to play physical basketball within yourself and still find a way to shine, and that's the key.
Shivers tries to track down the rebound, and Point Streak will have it. 5:20 remaining in the second quarter, 33-22 in favor of Finnish Select. And what your mission has to be is kind of hang around here with Finnish Select if you're Point Streak, and see if you can still win at the end. Shivers, air ball. Back comes Jamal Morris. And that's too easy, but Shivers there with the good defense prevents the layup. Point Streak the other way. Wild sequence back to Shivers. His shot. Good.
Good ball movement that time by Point Streak. They played fast basketball on that possession and found a sweet little look in the lane.
Coleman drives in. Layup good.
He's an unstoppable beast right now, isn't he?
Cannot stop Timothy Coleman.
Finnish Select bunch, and he knows it too. You know, guys understand when they have a nice advantage on the floor, and he's taking advantage of that and lighting up the scoreboard for Finnish Select.
Got caught up in the air there with a three-pointer and then decided to pass. Joe Jackson is the recipient of a dunk, and it was Darius Paul that was indecisive, and that cost Point Streak rather. That's a very smart play right there for Nate Morrell. Get the defender up in the air, and you have an easy lane to the hoop.
Good jump stop. You're right. Froze 2 defenders, got them both to leap, and then the high kiss and down the hole.
Back come Point Streak. And Shivers has a shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
Who else but Timothy Coleman with the sent back. That left hand, he's like the one-armed bandit. I know there are a lot of one-armed bandits in the casinos here in Las Vegas, but Coach Mika Larkus as a one-armed bandit with that left hand of Timothy Coleman, that time showing the defensive setback.
Shivers again. Nate Shivers establishing himself in the Global Basketball Summer League.
Good-looking player, and he's got some confidence coming in for Coach Lofton.
Three-pointer, no good. Ricardo Artis, though, cleans it up.
That was a nice aggressive play, wasn't it? He out-battled 2 jerseys from the opposite side, got the rebound and the stick back.
Janarius Middleton able to get the second chance opportunity, and I like that play because you miss the easy layup, don't give up on it.
Definitely, he knew it was short, followed it up, and easily uncontested with the stick back. Janarius Middleton from Jackson State University.
Sheck Snyder with it, hides behind the screen. And I have to tell you, a screen from Connor Voss is like looking at the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, he blocks the sun, doesn't he?
He does, and that is his job to set those screens. We have a 30-second timeout here with the score. Finnish select 39 and Point Streak 30.
Yeah, bring up a good point. You know, big men love the dunk, don't they? They love to catch down low, beat you to the hole, and flush it down because it's easy when you're 7 feet. But they take a lot of pride also in being a role player. And as you alluded to, Connor Voss at 7'1", out of Columbia University, took pride, I think, in setting that screen for the open look at the top of the key. He just was unable to finish.
Right now we're going to send it over to Sydney Carriel. Sydney, what do you have for us?
Point Street coach Louis Lofton decided to take center Chris Dees out and put in 4 guards and take advantage of their speed and athleticism. He told his guys to keep the tempo up to get their men tired. We'll see what he'll do after this timeout. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sydney. The adjustments that they need to make, they being Point Streak, it's I think they've begun to make those adjustments, seeing the score at 39-30, and you have 2:46 remaining in the second quarter. And so what you need to do is you need to get it here at single digits and keep it here and not let them rebuild that double-digit lead.
I agree with you. The way Point Streak has played today, they don't really deserve to be as close as they are, but you know, Finnish select allowing Point Streak to hang around, and you're right, it's a single-digit game as we get close to halftime, and that means a game is still up for grabs.
Shivers on Artis, goes in, layup, no good, and a foul, and it's going to be on Point Streak.
Loose ball foul after he missed the shot. He went after it. Keith Shivers is the culprit. He had one chance at 6'4" going up against the big trees on that dribble drive, and that is make the shot. He didn't. He went after that loose ball, and they called him with the foul.
2:28 remaining. Artis will inbound. A drive inside, back out to the corner. Artis now kicks it. A lot of ball movement, which results in a missed shot. And can't quite save it.
Finnish select ran that motion offense, a good passing, and they found a good open look. The shot didn't go down. Battle for the loose ball under the goal and swatted out of bounds. And they'll have another possession and a fresh 24.
Guard on guard here. And Voss with the shot. You don't see too many 7-footers taking 16-footers.
But I guarantee you he's done that before. Why? He didn't hesitate on the shot, nor did he try to take the man off the dribble. 7'1" collecting in the corner. I would love to see a little head fake and then a dribble drive that time by Connor Voss. Instead, he opted to take the shot and didn't really have a chance to go in.
Smart play there as the Finnish select offensive player knocked it off the defender. And Artis goes in.
That's an offensive foul. It's got to be.
Yep. Offensive foul.
Player control foul, they call it at the NBA level, and that was an easy whistle for the official right on the baseline. Artis had the right idea, but he didn't avoid the contact. And back to the other way we go. Point streak, only down 9, Matt, as we get to halftime, and still just hanging around.
You know who else does that very effectively? James Harden and LeBron James.
Yeah. They have the bodies to do it also.
They're still offensive fouls. It's just, yeah. Traveling on Nate Morrell as he shuffled the pivot foot.
Yeah, he lost the handle of the ball too, tried to regroup and took too many steps. And steps will get it right back to Finnish select. Kind of a lull in the action. Neither team really finding much continuity here in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, I said somebody needed to keep it at single digits. Well, they also haven't added anything.
Yeah, we've been stuck at this score for a while.
Steal. Good chance for point streak. And what a block by Ricardo Artis.
That was above the rim. Pretty sweet.
But then point streak gets it back. And this time the layup goes down for Watkins. Shades of LeBron James on Andre Iguodala.
That was a pretty nice move, wasn't it?
So we got 35 seconds remaining. Point streak only down 7. More than likely we'll get the last shot here. Artis in the corner. Voss unable to lay it in. And point streak able to get it, and they can hold for one if they wish. But instead, Watkins goes in and gets the easy lay-in. And all of a sudden, they're down by only 5.
Yeah, Finnish select has gone a little cold here in the last minute. Second win for point streak.
A defensive stop here would mean a lot, but they won't get it as Jason Stubbs hits it at the buzzer, but still. Now they're saying that there may be some time left. Saying 1.8 on the clock.
How about Jason Stubbs, though? He's come off the bench today for this Finnish select bunch, and Mika Larkus, and he's a guy that can fill the cup. He averaged 19 points a game at Simpson University at 6'1", and he's got some pretty nice moves, a lot of energy, and he's really helped Finnish select to the 7-point lead as they're going to add some more time and we get close to halftime.
So here you're hoping for a Hail Mary or a quick shot. Half court heave doesn't go for Devon Oliver. And your score at halftime, 41-34 in favor of Finnish select.
Well, the way this game started, man, I thought it'd be a run out, a blowout, and Finnish select jumped out early, and neither team could find much in the first 5 minutes. It took that long for the first point of the day for point streak, a team that put up 82 points in a close win here yesterday afternoon, and Finnish select came out, shot out of the cannon. They had a lot of confidence and they jumped out early, but point streak hung around. They cut it to a 2-point deficit. It was 9-7, and then they stayed within 9 or 10 points from there on out. And even though Finnish select, to me, is dominating the stat sheet, point streak has got to feel really good that, hey, all of a sudden this is only a 7-point game.
Absolutely, and you wouldn't think the two teams would combine for 75 points after going scoreless for the first 4 minutes of the game. In the first half, they would combine for 75. Well, Sydney Carriel has an interview for us. Sydney, who do you have?
Coach, you guys had a lot of momentum in the beginning of the game and then started to drop off towards the end of the first half. How are you guys going to regain that momentum?
Just got to get the focus back. We're missing open layups and making little stupid mistakes. So missing a layup, the opponent gets to run, all of a sudden like 13-point lead, turns into a 7-point lead. Just got to get back to focus.
What adjustments are you going to make on offense and defense to get that focus back?
No, it starts with the little things. Playing defense like we planned. We were helping a bit too much, especially against our big guy Connor. Just let him go one-on-one and don't lose the offensive rebound. So just got to get like the little things right on defense, and the offense will follow.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck the second half. Guys?
Well, thanks, Sydney. Yeah, Finnish Select, they need to keep their foot on the pedal here, because if they don't, Point Streak could come roaring up behind them.
I think Mikko Larkus is satisfied with the way his team started. I don't think he was very happy with the way they finished that first half, Matt. And credit Point Streak, though. You know, they knew that shots weren't falling early. They really haven't found their rhythm or consistency in this game. And you look up and you're only down 7 points with 2 full quarters still to go. And a lot of basketball still to play here this afternoon, and important second half for both teams. And the winner of this game, remember, will go on to that championship tomorrow, slated for 12:10 p.m. here West Coast time in Las Vegas on Sunday afternoon.
And I have a reason why Finnish Select is up by 7 points in the paint. 20 for Finnish Select, 22 for Point Streak. But when you take a look at the overall field goal percentage, you can see that Point Streak just doesn't quite have as much firepower as Finnish Select.
Yeah, they've only shot 41%. Finnish Select shooting a blistering 59%. You know why? Timothy Coleman, he hasn't missed a shot. He's only missed 1 free throw. He has 15 of the 41 points for Finnish Select. And the southpaw is certainly a shining star. He has an assist, he has a block, and he also has one of the 2 steals in the first 2 quarters for this Finnish Select bunch. He's been an important cog, there's no doubt, for Mikko Larkus's bunch. And they're shooting well. They've got a leader in Timothy Coleman, and they've been able really to dart off to an impressive start in this basketball game. On the other side, Point Streak really hasn't found any consistency scoring, although their big guy Brian Bridgeforth does have 6 points and 7 boards. Nobody has more than 6 points in the first half for Point Streak. You could say it's good balance in scoring, but they have to start to find a little more consistency if they're going to turn this score around and play for that title here tomorrow.
Well, 17-14 in the rebound area. As far as turnovers are concerned, Finnish Select has 6, and Point Streak has only 3, so you would think that's the reason why it's so close.
Yeah, they're not shooting well, Point Streak, but you're right. They're doing a great job of not turning the ball over.
Watkins will start. Point Streak with an immediate chance to make an impact out of the locker room. And an easy lay-in by Nate Morrell. And all of a sudden, down by only 5 are the Point Streak team here in Vegas.
And then Devon Oliver was over-aggressive at midcourt, trying to find the steal. Coming out with early energy in the first 15 seconds. His Point Streak team has pulled it within 5. And
Devon Oliver not shy to go against the red-hot Timothy Coleman. Stubbs will get it. Jamal Morris, he'll hit a deep 2-pointer.
nice unselfish play. Jordan Hare just kind of shoveled it away on the right wing to his buddy. And Morris, with his foot on the line, hit the long J.
And ball ricochets back to Finnish Select. Stubbs with it. And that's an offensive foul as he just bowled over Morrell.
Takes a lot of courage to absorb the blow of an offensive foul, doesn't it? And, you know, there are coaches that love guys like that. Just stood his ground, planted his feet, and absorbed the blow. And Nate Morrell just gobbled that ball back, and a takeaway for his team as Point Streak has the ball back, down by 7.
Well, Morris is 6'5". Morrell is 6 foot. As Dees has a shot block, gets it back, goes up, can't get the lay-in.
Man, he needs to penetrate more. Those pull-ups don't work as well. We haven't seen it at least today for a guy like Dees. With a body his size, put it on the deck and gallop to the goal.
And Morris steps out of bounds there. That's a rookie mistake. They drive, and it happens in the NBA all the time, by the way. You drive and you kick your foot back, and it steps on that white line. Point streak. Trying to see what they can do. Oliver gets it over Watkins. 3-point shot, good for Chad Watkins.
6'1", right-handed shot from the left wing, and that hit the clouds as it came all the way down and through. Pretty shot.
And Jordan Hare gets a thunderous slam.
All off the feed. Nice pass right at his chest, able to collect, rise, and dunk it down with a two-handed flush.
And Oliver, that 3-point shot won't go. Out of bounds, back to Finnish select. Yeah, Chad Watkins and Nate Morrell just both trying to, and cherry picking on the other end, and somehow Jordan Hare doesn't get the layup to go, even though he'll get 2 free throws. Point streak is very fortunate there. They were napping on defense.
Yeah, Jamel Morris caught that long outlet pass, didn't he? He had a 2-on-1 break. He fed it off to his buddy Jordan Hare, and challenged by Brian Bridgeforth, who committed the foul. And looked like Jordan Hare could have finished easily. Instead, he'll take a couple of free throw chances.
And already it's a good foul as Hare missed the first.
Yeah. He could be keeping in the back of his mind that he should have made that layup and brought that, unfortunately, Matt, to the free throw line. The mental side of the game, you got to dust that off your shoulder, forget the fact that you missed an easy layup, and refocus and concentrate on hitting these free throws and getting those 2 points for your team.
Jordan Hare is 6'10", 225. He needs to go in and dunk that ball.
Yep, he should have finished the 2. Instead, he came away with 1 from the free throw line.
Shivers checks back in. He handles against Stubbs. Now against Morris. D's at 5. Tries to get it to Watkins. Can't. They need to make something happen, and they won't. And they know what they missed there. They're upset.
Good opportunity to knife into the 7-point deficit, and a 24-second violation gives it right back to Finnish select. That's a mistake. Talked about the 24-second shot clock, and most of these young men are used to the college 30-second shot clock, and you have to really execute in a shorter time each play, and that's part of the adjustment this week.
Easy lay-in for Justin Graham, and deficit back to 9.
That's the way to beat the shot clock, isn't it? Penetrate down the lane, have an open little layup, and the left-handed flip off the window goes down.
Dees gets it over. Fadeaway shot is no good for Jarius Middleton. It's very important. Now is the time where Point Street can't lose their composure. They need to keep this at a single-digit ball game.
Yeah, good point. First 2 minutes, they had a lot of energy right out of the gates, and they haven't kept that consistency here in the first 4 minutes.
Timothy Coleman couldn't get the layup to go, but he'll get to the line.
Christie's the culprit on the foul. And no more chances to fill the cup for this guy, Tim Coleman, who had 15 first-half points for this Finnish select bunch. And he does hit the free throw.
And with that, that gives Finnish select a double-digit lead. And you got to think Point Streak is thinking in the back of their mind, uh-oh, here we go again.
And they trimmed it to 7 at halftime. They cut it quickly to 5 in the first minute, but it's been built back up to 10.
Shivers gets the rebound, brings it up, and now he'll back it out. Layup will not go but Darius Paul will get himself to the line. .5:58 remaining, and we'll have a timeout here. And this is kind of where the game's kind of hanging there. You know, 8, 10, 11, 7 points. And if you can get it past that threshold, you might have a chance to come back. But they can't allow easy layups. And you can't allow Jordan Hare to get to the rim with no defense either.
Yeah, he's been a pretty good force. And on the other side for Point Streak, they've made a nice run, but they weren't able to really get over that hump, so to speak, get it down to maybe 5 or 3 points where all of a sudden you really feel like you're right back into the game. And credit a lot of that to Finnish Select. Just when Point Streak makes a run, they've been able to turn the tide and built this back up to a 10-point lead, but still a lot of time to go. 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. We still have a full fourth quarter, and this Point Streak team can put up points in bunches. We saw that yesterday in their 82-point outburst in their victory. And as we talked about, Matt, they certainly have the bodies and the ability to do it. You talked about a guy like Keith Shivers and Nate Morrell for much of the game, and then, of course, what Chris Dees and Darius Paul are able to do in the front court. They have the ability. The key is, can they get stops, force mistakes by Finnish Select, and find a way to chip back into this game.
5:58 remaining in the third quarter. A lot of time left. 10 points isn't a lot, especially in the NBA. And this is NBA rules. These are potential NBA players. First free throw, though, rims out for Darius Paul.
Point Streak only hit 50% from the line in that first half. Part of the reason they were down 7 points headed into the locker room.
Paul splits the free throws. Morris shot, no good. Rebound, second chance opportunity by Jordan Hare, and that's what I just said. He needs to be more aggressive like that, and there it pays dividends for Finnish Select.
Yeah, that was nice. He followed up the miss, went in against a couple of white jerseys, and still had the ability to twirl with those great feet and use the glass. And the big men that can use the glass well against some tough defense, boy, they find good finishes, and that was sweet by Jordan Hare.
And a behind the back pass to Shivers. Can't cash it in. The tip no good by Dees. And back come Finnish Select with Timothy Coleman a million miles an hour. Back out three-pointer is good for Justin Graham.
Sweet play off transition on rhythm. Jamel Morris from the wing to the top of the key. And the triple by Justin Graham. Stroked it beautifully with the right hand.
And all of a sudden, Point Streak down by 14, and Shivers could not save it from going out of bounds. And momentum beginning to shift.
Back to Finnish Select, and we talked about Point Streak. They continue to make their little runs, don't they? They chip away and make it interesting within 10, within 7. They got it down to 5, but that's as close as they've been able to go here in the third quarter, and all of a sudden they've gone cold. Finnish Select has found their rhythm again, and they've built back to a pretty comfortable lead.
Coleman, Shivers on him. He goes in. Denied very nicely. And Hare will shoot over, but unable to convert it. Dees with the rebound back out to Shivers. Point Streak tries to answer. Cannot do it with the layup.
Smaller body, Janarius Middleton, going up against the big guys underneath. Put a nice footwork on, but just couldn't finish for Point Streak.
And this is not good for Point Streak because Jordan Hare just converted a layup, and Connor Boss is at the scorer's table getting ready to check back in.
Jordan Hare has found his second win, hasn't he? And he's really allowed Finnish Select. If it's not Coleman, it's been Hare today. But they've been a nice dynamic duo for Coach Larkus, and all of a sudden they've built their lead back to a Sweet 16.
Timothy Coleman with Nate Shivers on him. Morris with Middleton on him. And that's too easy for Jamel Morris.
Just took his defender off the dribble, went right around Janarius Middleton like he was a construction cone, and a left-handed kiss off the glass with good body control.
All of a sudden, the game that was a 7-point game at halftime is now an 18-point game with that layup by Shivers. Three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Middleton. Back out to Shivers, and we'll see what Point Street can do.
Well, they executed a nice backdoor on the previous play. There's a sweet lob from Shivers to Christie's, and that capitalizes for an easy deuce.
Back to 14, 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Point Streak showing a little bit of life here.
With the art of a tough lob over the top, that 18-foot lob, and it's got to be there perfect for the big guy, and if he's able to collect deep, it's an automatic deuce.
And a nice steal. Double teamed in the corner, though. And Christie's able to pick it up, get it across the timeline to Middleton.
Every possession important for Point Streak. If they can just execute, they've got a good chance to find 2 points. The key has been consistency and execution.
And there's a 2-point shot for Darius Paul, and all of a sudden it's back to 12. It was 18 about a minute ago.
Let's see if Finnish Select gets back to their bread and butter and gets Coleman and Hare involved offensively.
Well, I think on cue that's what's going to happen because Morris is wanting to set up. He shoots a three-pointer, doesn't get it, and an over-the-back foul on Jordan Hare, and we'll have a host of substitutions. Bridgeforth will check back in, as will Artis. And before any of those players get to see a second of action, we'll have a timeout with exactly 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And this has turned into a really, really good game.
All of a sudden it has. It was 18 points a moment ago. It's down to a dozen. Body's getting perhaps a little tired. And a long stint without a whistle, without a timeout. But all of a sudden they may have been bailed out by the media timeout. And with 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, a 12-point separation. A lot of fresh bodies will be inserted by both coaches. And Mika Larkus on one end for Finnish Select, and Lewis Lofton for Point Streak on the opposite side. They both need to inject some new energy onto the floor, if you will, Matt. And this is a golden opportunity, especially for Point Streak, with 2 minutes to go in the third, to utilize these new bodies and figure out a way to trim down this 12-point deficit,
Right.
58-46.
And we're going to go real quickly to Sydney Carriel to talk about how Finnish Select isn't going to change their offense. Sydney?
Out of the timeout, Finnish Select coach Mikko Larkus told his team to stay focused on defense and close out. He hasn't changed much on offense because he really liked how they clicked yesterday during their game, but wants his team to focus more on the other side of the ball and connect more while playing defense. Guys?
And yeah, they built a lead with their offense the way it was, and I don't think they've necessarily changed it. I think Point Streak has just adjusted.
Yeah, Timothy Coleman was feasting on them early, and they figured out a way to kind of hem him in ever since the start of the third quarter. But boy, Point Streak, every time you think they're going to come back in this game, and they just can't continue to build on the momentum. They had a great chance on the previous play, and the lob pass was deflected and stolen away, and another turnover.
Stubbs with an air ball. Shivers. Back come Point Streak. Nice spin move. Goes inside a million miles an hour, lays it up and in. Nate Shivers, coast to coast.
Good acceleration, too. He found the little hole. The block was sealed away, and he was able to take it in and glide right to the glass for two more.
Three-pointer, good for Joe Jackson. And that's just got to be demoralizing if you're Point Streak.
It's been a little quiet today. Only 4 points in the first 2 quarters for Joe Jackson, who was busy yesterday, but that was a sweet three just in front of us looking down the barrel a moment ago.
Darius Paul answers with an easy layup, and I see Point Streak is getting a lot of easier shots. And Voss goes up, unable to lay it in. Good defense there. And we have a foul on Finnish Select.
I like the move, though, by Connor Voss. Caught it in the block to the right, pivoted to the middle, switched to that left hand. He just couldn't finish with the little hook underneath, but the footwork was great. Unfortunately, he couldn't find the bottom of the hole.
It's the first foul in the last 2 minutes. Next one will be free throws for Point Streak. Bridgeforth will inbound. Three-pointer is good for Darius Paul.
That was from way downtown, wasn't
Way
it?
downtown. That was from Reno.
Yeah. That 23-foot NBA line is just a suggestion that time for Darius Paul.
And in all likelihood, Point Streak will have the last shot. Another three-pointer is no good. And Point Streak will let it go out of bounds, and they will have the last shot with 11.1 remaining, and they're only down by 8 now.
Boy, Joe Jackson hit that deep three a moment ago from the right side. This time he tried the left side, man.
You were kind of thinking that it was
Chipped
going to
off
go
paint.
in. Yeah. Shivers at 5, at 4, at 3, at 1. His shot, no good at the buzzer. But even so, Point Streak only down by 8, 61-53.
Sure, they were down 18, weren't they, a moment ago, earlier in this third quarter.
2 minutes ago.
Yep, and they were able to trim this lead right down to 8, just as they did in the second period. They got down big, double digits. All of a sudden they went in the locker room. They were only down 7. And if you're head coach Lewis Lofton, you got to continue to preach to your guys right now on the bench heading into this fourth quarter that it's 10 minutes, and the winner of this game plays for a title. So you're now challenging these young men of whether they want to bring it for 10 minutes this afternoon, get a good night's rest if you come back and win, and then play for something meaningful here tomorrow at high noon from the Doolittle Center.
And I would think if you are Point Streak, I would think that you have all the momentum going into this fourth here.
Absolutely. That they finished the third quarter playing well, getting their shots, playing well as a unit. The second team that he brought in out of that timeout that we went to, that media timeout with 2 minutes, he brought in some fresh bodies, and they were all able to capitalize. And for Finnish Select, without Jordan Hare on the floor and without their star of the first half not on the floor in Timothy Coleman, they're looking for other contributors, and they really didn't get it in the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. And we start the fourth quarter without Hare and without Coleman.
Fun fact, Jordan Hare Jordan Hare, 7 foot, has a stadium named after him in Birmingham, or in Auburn, Alabama, excuse me. Okay, no, it's not named after him.
It's a different Hare.
Point Streak, unable to get the golden opportunity layup to go, and it's just been that kind of night, although they're still down by 8. And shot no good, and a late whistle.
That was.
But I believe it was the right call.
There's Earl Schexnader, a name we called a lot in the first half. Didn't call much at all in the third quarter, but he comes out to start the fourth period with a burst of speed, and he was able to draw the body blow.
Makes the first to push the lead back to 9. But even with this free throw attempt here, as we have a stoppage, even with this free throw attempt, I would think the Point Streak still believes that they're going to be okay as long as they do what they did in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to make runs here in the fourth. The question, how large are those runs going to be, Matt? Are they 4 points, or are they 10-point runs that all of a sudden make this game more all square and make it more of a nail-biter in the final 2 minutes?
Watkins, some nice dribbling moves, gets it over to Middleton, and an offensive foul. Illegal screen there. Jason Stubbs brings it up, 3-on-3, no pun intended. And Voss, unable to handle it, picks it back up and puts it in.
That was a fortuitous carom right back into his hands, and 7'1", that was the easiest shot of the day for him.
Nice move, but unable to convert is Bridgeforth.
That was sweet. I think he just faded away, though, a little too much in the lane, and that cost him a chance to finish the shot. Attack the big fella at 7'1" instead.
And Ricardo Ortiz That is very demoralizing. And a steal by Jackson. And now a foul. Stubbs was looking to shoot the three before the foul was called.
A foul by Bridgeforth. A little frustrating type foul at midcourt. Never got back defensively, and after the play on one end was frustrated. The ball didn't work his way and came back and fouled at the other end at midcourt.
Inside, Boss to Artius. And we have a foul on Finnish Select. Scramble for the ball.
Yeah, he was engaged with Devon Oliver. It was a pretty good tackle if you're playing football, but unfortunately at this level, it's a whistle and a personal foul.
15-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, the possession goes back to point streak, down 14, 8 minutes to go.
Need to make something happen. On cue, Watkins goes in, gets fouled. He'll have a pair of free throws. As quickly as it ballooned from 7 to 18 and then shrinked back down to 8 and now back up to 14. You never know what's going to happen.
Desert Storm won earlier today against Scouting for You. So that team, the Nevada team from nearby Las Vegas, Desert Storm will play in the championship tomorrow at 12 o'clock against the winner of this game.
And so 67-55. Three-pointer, Joe Jackson, no good. Long rebound, Finnish Select. Back out to Jackson. Another three-pointer, no good. Jackson with the rebound again. Artiz lays it in. And that's the kind of night it's been. That's the kind of night it's been for Point Streak. And right now, we're going to go over to Sydney Carriel to talk about the offense adjustments for Point Streak. Sydney, what do you have for us?
His team to keep up the hustle because it's wearing down the other guys. Lofton told his players to keep going inside and keep the pressure up because he thinks Finnish Select is having a hard time keeping up. Guys?
Thanks, Sydney. And yeah, Point Streak really needs to make some sort of a momentum shifter happen here, or else this game is going to be history for them. Oliver able to get the rebound. Back out to Chris Dees. Let's see if Chris Dees can make an impact. He had in the first half and in the third quarter. Oliver tried to get it to his teammate, couldn't do it, and back comes Stubbs the other way. But Bridgeforth with a steal right there, and he's fouled.
Well, a guy like Chris Dees had a big impact in this game in the first half. He's kind of crawled into a hole ever since, though, Matt, and kind of guy that can be a finisher, I think, if you feed him here midway through the fourth quarter. I like his game. I think he can be unstoppable here for Point Streak and give them an opportunity to come back. Got to find a way to feed him, though.
Well, they need to do it within the next 2 minutes.
Sure.
Get it to under 10. Middleton with it. Back to Oliver. Now back to Dees. Middleton, his jump shot, no good. And Bridgeforth couldn't secure the offensive rebound. Back comes Jordan Hare.
Tough angle for Narius Middleton, deep in the right corner from 18 feet away. It's not a high percentage shot.
And that is what is known as, did the contact create an illegal advantage? Because Ricardo Ortiz missed that shot and then the whistle came. If he makes that shot, the NBA sometimes would let that go.
Let that go, sure.
But in that case, the contact did create an advantage for the defensive player. So Ortiz will shoot a pair of free throws. Ricardo Ortiz, 6'6", played for Wiley College. 15.9 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 1 assist. It's a pretty good stat line.
Wiley College, do you think their nickname are the Road Runners? Is that possible?
No, I think that they've heard that one before. Chris Dees hits a 2-pointer. And we'll have a host of substitutions here. And we'll have a mandatory timeout with 5:50 remaining. The under 6 timeout. Matt Fowler alongside Todd Bernacki. And Todd, they could come back, but they really need to make a charge here, something like a 10-0 run.
Yeah, you and I think, have been saying that all game. It just continue to make little runs, chip away, but just can't get over the hump. And just when you think that point streak is back into this contest, it just doesn't work in their favor. And I credit that to Finnish Select. They're making good adjustments when point streak makes those runs, and then they're able to turn the tide and all of a sudden find some defensive stops and then make some shots on their end. And, once it gets down to about 9, they're able to pull back to 13. This game has kind of been in that 9 to 13, 14-point range, really, for much of the afternoon. And at times, you and I keep hoping and praying that point streak will make this interesting down the stretch. But Finnish Select just has too many weapons, and even their bench is relatively deep and athletic and talented. And Mika Larkus wants to get in that title game. And after a big win yesterday where they looked awfully impressive, they'd look impressive again this afternoon. And this is going to be a tough team to beat in the title game if they were able to advance.
Well, and the thing is, as broadcasters, we're neutral. As basketball fans, yes, everybody wants to see point streak come back. But the reality is, if you're up against a superior team, you're up against a superior team. Now, I am not willing to say that the Finnish Select is a superior team because these guys didn't know each other 3 days ago. So you can't exactly say that. But it is impressive how quickly they've gelled.
Good athletes, and you could see they're not only solid in their physical play and their athleticism, but their maturity as well. And, that's another thing I really haven't talked about much this week. These are a lot of very high caliber players with the maturity, and that's another attribute that they'll bring to the professional level.
Bridgeforth can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in.
Well, they needed a lot more of that today, huh? Ryan Bridgeforth at 6'10", missed underneath and followed his own miss and able to finish.
Nate Morrell is on Justin Graham. Artis gets it. Dribbles precariously along the baseline. D's on him. He goes up, lays it up and out. And a jump ball as defenders hit the floor. And I believe it's between Artis and, I want to say, D's or Middleton.
I think Middleton was the man engaged underneath, but that'll be a jump ball situation. Oh.
And so if Finnish Select gets this tip, they'll only have 2 on the shot clock, which is very important.
Yeah. After the ball's tipped, you got to catch and shoot. That's all you're going to have a chance for.
So the odds favor, as we are in Vegas, the odds favor point streak. And now there
should be 1 second on the shot clock.
It was reset a little bit prematurely.
Well, Timothy Coleman did the right thing in winning the tip. He tried to get it towards the bucket to his buddy Hare.
And a lob which works for Ricardo Ortiz, and that is how the night's gone for point streak. That is
nice way to draw up a shot like that. That was a sweet execution with a second on
that
the clock.
play works 1 out of every 50 times.
Well, you have to have some ESP, don't you, on the same wavelength if you're going to try a lob like that on an inbound and a perfect little follow underneath. That was well executed.
You got to stop using all those big acronyms around me, man. Nice deflection by Middleton, but it goes right to Jordan Hare, and he'll get himself to the line, and this just isn't point streak's day.
Too much Coleman and too much Hare. And they've really been a fun, dynamic duo to watch this afternoon. if these two bring it tomorrow afternoon, Finnish Select is going to be tough to knock off for the title here.
Sounds like a comedy duo, Coleman and Hare, right? Jordan Hare gets the free throw to go. And now what Point Streak is going to do is get those players in that haven't been in the game and let everybody have a few minutes, a few touches. Because when you get a game like this, it's more of a individual showing as Hare gets the second chance lay-in to go.
That's because Timothy Coleman kept it alive. Boy, did a great job fighting off a defender on that missed free throw. It kind of bounced off his shoulder, came right to Jordan Hare, and Hare with a finish.
Bridgewater lays it in. Bridgeforth, excuse me.
He's tough. Once he catches deep, he's almost unstoppable with that wiry frame, able to square up and utilize those long arms to finish with the easy two.
Timothy Coleman on Shivers. Back to Hare. His three-pointer no good. Bridgeforth tracks it down. Nice dribble move. And Point Streak will slow it up and see what they can do this last 3 minutes and 40 seconds of this fourth game of the Global Basketball Summer League. Chris Dees in the corner, knocked out of bounds, will remain with Point Streak.
It's been a really fun day, smooth day. Things have gone very well here at the event center, and everything's still on schedule. We actually get home by 6 o'clock tonight. Enjoy the evening in Las Vegas. Of course, they'll jinx it, but it will be nice to be home early.
Well, don't enjoy the evening too much. We all have to be here by 9 a.m. tomorrow.
We're getting used to the routine. It's been a lot of fun.
And they're calling a foul. Point Streak lobbying for a jump ball. They will not get it.
Point Streak will play for third place at 2:20 tomorrow against the team known as Scouting for You. And all the action will begin at 10 a.m. on Sunday with Greek Connect versus the Canada Stars, and that will be for the 7th place finish in this event.
Thank you for joining us wherever you're tuning in, whether it be here in Vegas or on your couch or in your mom's basement. We don't care. We want to bring you all the entertainment. Chris Dees unable to get it to go. And Joe Jackson with Chris Dees in front of him goes up, lays it up and out. And Bridgeforth with the rebound. Oh, what a block, but Chris Dees gets the second chance layup, but he can't convert it. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Way to follow the shot, the miss underneath. This is an impressive body in Chris Dees, one of the big physical men we've seen all week of the 8 teams that are playing in session number A. And boy, he was so strong, he almost went up and almost finished that and had an end one opportunity. But the Point Streak, they needed a whole lot more of Chris Dees this afternoon if they were going to hang. They got off to a real sluggish start, Matt. Made some runs at times, made it interesting at times, but just too much. Finnish Select able to take advantage of outstanding play, the combination of Timothy Coleman and down low with Jordan Hare, and that's just been too much for Point Streak to try to make any hay.
Well, Point Streak had a nice run in this tournament. And this is all about getting to the next level for all these guys, for the players, for the coaches, for the referees, even the broadcasters.
What's your thought about a championship game tomorrow? Have you seen the Nevada Storm team and then this Finnish Select? They'll play at 12 o'clock for all the beans.
As an objective broadcaster, I will say that both clubs
will give us a great game.
Play well. However, if you really wanted me to give you an edge, I would say Finnish Select. They have the ability. They're clearly, to me, the best team in this tournament, which is, I don't know what that's saying because they've all met like 3 days ago.
Well, he's pretty deep, and we've seen that today. You called out all different types of players and different names like Earl Schexnayder, Jason Stubbs that came off the bench, Joe Jackson had a big game yesterday. He's been quiet today, but he's hit some key shots to expand their lead. Certainly Timothy Coleman, one of the stars. A guy like Ricardo Artis has a lot of athleticism. Connor Voss at 7'1" can come off the bench and give you some great defense. And then Jordan Hare is probably he and Coleman, the two real shining stars for Finnish Select. I like that 8, and I think they'll find a way to win tomorrow against the Nevada Storm.
Well, between, as you said, Artis and Coleman, and on cue,
Timothy Coleman, there he goes. Left-handed man, loves the left side of the lane, and if you allow him to exploit that, he's going to make you look foolish. That was a pretty move and a nice finish, and add 2 more to the tote board for a guy, Timothy Coleman.
well, Timothy Coleman is like a player that keeps hitting 21 in blackjack. Everything he does just seems to turn to gold.
I'll take your word for that. I haven't experienced the consistency with blackjack.
Neither have most people. Slam, no good for Jackson. And Dees with the rebound as we come upon 2 minutes remaining in the final game of the Global Basketball Summer League for today, that is. Morrell, wide open 3 won't go. And Jordan Hare gets the rebound, but stolen away by Morrell, and they'll get a jump ball out of it. That is good hustle. That's great hustle by Nate Morrell, 6 foot out of Weber International University.
Absolutely. Jordan Hare had the advantage on that long, loose rebound and not giving up on it. Morrell went up against the big guy, went down to his knees, and was able to tie him up on the jump ball. Here's another mismatch in a jump ball situation, 6 foot against 6'10".
And look who wins the tip.
Point Streak won it. Undersized, but a large heart by Nate Morrell.
Bridgeforth gets it to go, and this final score may not be an indicator of how close the game was not. Because hasn't it felt, even when Point Streak has made a comeback, that Finnish Select was never really in danger?
I think that's a very fair statement. And that's the sign of a good team that believes in each other, believes in themselves. I like the Storm. I think they've come into this tournament as certainly a local favorite that has shown a lot of heart and athleticism, a lot of energy from the Storm in the first 2 games. But I think Finnish Select, if they play their game tomorrow, what we've seen today, it's going to be too much on Sunday afternoon.
Well, and I mean, listen, like, everything can happen. Anything can happen in sports. We have an offensive foul as Timothy Coleman on the defensive end draws the charge. Anything can happen in sports. Everybody knows that. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's just incredible for me that these guys that haven't met before have gelled so well above and beyond the rest.
Yeah, that's the maturity, and that's what you see, I think, on the floor. The ability to know what their role is rather quickly and the respect for their teammates, and it's come together rather quickly. And, Tim Coleman and Jordan Hare will be the 2 leaders tomorrow afternoon, and both of them get a well-deserved rest here with under a minute to go as they head to the bench.
And it doesn't hurt that your average height is 6'4", 6'5". Shivers will lay it up and in.
Keith Shivers, really nice player. We've called his name all day for Point Streak.
And Connor Voss, cherry picking, slams it home as the exclamation point. As we come up on 30 seconds remaining. Lay in good by Chad Watkins at a Point Loma Nazzarini. So 20 seconds remaining. Artis. Excuse me. And that shot won't go by Schexnayder. 3 seconds remaining. Shot no good. Voss with the rebound, and that will do it. So Finnish Select advances to the championship game tomorrow against the Desert Storm. And what can you say, Todd?
They're going to be a tough cookie to crack tomorrow afternoon. They've got the athletes. They've got depth off the bench. And they've got a really good coach in Mikko Larkus. And he's brought his team into this tournament, the team he drafted Thursday morning. And
it just
they've
sounds
come out and
funny
put on a
when
good
you
show.
say that. The team he drafted Thursday morning is playing in the championship game. Makes him sound like Steve Kerr or something.
Tim, coming off a big win yesterday and then finishing off today with another big win, what was your mindset coming into the game?
Just playing my game, just take whatever the defense gives me. And, if they play off me, you just shoot the jump shot. If they come up on me, you go by them. I use my speed and athleticism and strength to, take advantage of people who get on my hip. And then, they started honing in on me a little bit, so that gave my teammates more time for them to shine as well. And, as they started honing in on me more, I started looking for my teammates more because I became the focal point. So.
Right. So what adjustments are you guys going to make for the game tomorrow that could eventually lead you guys to the championship?
The game.
Or it is the championship.
Yeah, the championship's tomorrow. Yeah. We just try to execute our offense a little bit better every day. Yesterday, we played a lot of defense, so it kind of hid our offensive deficiencies. Today, we started having a better feel of the offense, and tomorrow, hopefully we'll have a more solid foundation of the offense. So, combined with that in our defense, I think we'll be fine for the championship game.
How do you think the camaraderie feels on the team now that you have 2 games under your belt and a couple practices?
We have an idea of what each other can do, and we take advantage of each other's strengths. Basically, we formed a kind of bond. We have a sort of on-court chemistry that maybe a lot of other teams don't have. We like to have fun out there. We look for each other. There's no selfishness. If you're open, you get the ball, and we just, and if you mess up, it's not a big deal. Just get it back. We play hard together, and it's not. You can't blame it on one person because we still a team at the end of the day. So.
Well, good luck tomorrow, and see you tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Boy, what about that guy there, Timothy Coleman? Big-time game, finishing the game with 20 and 5 on this matchup. Boy, did he make a mark on this one.
He scored the first 7 points of the game, and we said it was point streak 1, Timothy Coleman 7 early on, because that was all that was needed. But then the other guys chipped in, and Timothy Coleman and Ricardo Ortiz was absolutely amazing.
Yes, he was. Big-time game by him and Timothy on the side for Finnish Select. But thank you guys for watching Global Basketball Summer League. That's going to end the broadcast for this afternoon. We'll get back to it tomorrow.